Hey Bottoms, welcome back to another episode of the Bottoms Up podcast. I am your host, Taylor, and it is Girls in Wonderland week, finally. Oh my goodness, like so much thought, so much prep. This will be my second year going, and I'm working with the Virgins again, and I'm super excited. We have a lot of new stuff this year, which is just like so crazy. Like, I swear, I feel like since last year, it's like something just like shifted. And now, like, Yazie's like, hey, I had this idea, I had this idea, and I have this idea. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, let's make it work. So like, it's just been super exciting to like get to this point and to be able to see like a festival that's been going on now for 25 years and like to still see that they want to change things up and they want to add more and they want to adjust and like keep up with this changing world that we are in. I absolutely love it. It makes me so excited to continue working with them. This weekend is also going to be Blackout, which is South Florida's Black Pride. It's going to be their second year as well. So for those of you who aren't going to Girls in Wonderland, if you're still going to be in South Florida, they have events all over Miami and Milton Manors. So you should absolutely go ahead and check that out. I think all those events run from Friday, Saturday to Sunday. I am also just like, you know, I'm very much like focused on Girls in Wonderland because it stresses me out. It's fun, but when you're working it stresses me out. So like that is definitely taking up most of my mental space. I actually just finished packing my bag before I recorded this. But yeah, I wanted to get this episode out before I left because I had a really interesting conversation with DJ Lisafrank of Warm Leatherette just about like lesbian spaces specifically, or I guess you could say like sapphic spaces. And just listen. I mean, you're already here, so you're listening. But I think that it just kind of put some things into perspective for me about the kinds of spaces that women and non-binary people tend to gravitate towards, as opposed to kind of like the traditional gay club. And I definitely want to unpack that a little bit more in another episode. I might make that my sit down episode for July because it just kind of got the wheels turning. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy this episode. And also don't forget Deadlift competition coming up on June 14th. It'll be a Sunday. And I'll also have a post coming out because like that whole weekend from like the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th, it's just like lesbianism. Just lesbianism on your feed. So yeah, I'll have a post going out about that. But for now, enjoy this episode. I am about to go just be drowning in women for 4 days straight. Wish me luck. Thanks for listening, guys. Hope you enjoy this one. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Bottoms Up podcast. I am your host, Taylor, and today I am here with my very exciting guest, DJ Lisafrank.
Hi.
And we are also re-recording this episode because I made the mistake when we did this the first time, and I was sitting on my phone and I stopped the audio recording, which is very embarrassing to say, but it does confirm that I have a fat ass. So I guess that's all right.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm with you there, and so that's why we're here together today.
Exactly, just two fat asses talking about gay shit.
That's why people like us. You know, it's all about the booty.
But honestly, because I feel like we had like a wonderful conversation last time, and now I feel like I'm coming into like this kind of like second attempt, like knowing more about you and knowing like where I want to dig in deeper. So
okay.
I'll let you give a little introduction, like tell us about like who you are and what you do for the community down here.
Okay. Well, I go by DJ Lisafrank, and I am based in Wilton Manors. And here in South Florida, I throw a monthly party at Connect Record Shop in the Thrive Art District, and it's called Warm Leatherette. And it is a party for all queers and queer allies, although we are focused on platforming women, femmes, trans people, any of the FLINTA acronym, but everybody is invited. And It's a dedication towards foundational dance music genres, particularly when it comes to queer club culture. So you'll hear a lot of things or music from Studio 54 era, Paradise Garage, Funhouse, even all the way up to the Limelight, which were all clubs in New York, I'm sure. So, and just a celebration of that, and a focus on preserving just that knowledge or that history within the queer dance music community, because as we go along, things are forgotten. I am a big dork about this type of stuff. Anyone who knows me will attest. But it's been really nice. It's been really nice. It's been a really good. It's a free party. It's a community vibe. It's a neighborhood, jam, a queer neighborhood jam, and low pressure, come as you are. And so that's what I do right now at this point. Yes.
It's so exciting to hear you talk about that, because I know you come from this diverse is not the right word that I'm looking for, but your background, what you do now is so heavily influenced by years and years of experience in the club scene, but in multiple different areas in the US. And I'm the same. I'm definitely a nerd when it comes to queer history. I took my LGBT Studies 101 course at college, and I was
Cool.
oh my goodness, wow, there's so much to know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll definitely dig into that. But before we get into it, we're gonna do horoscopes. And you said that yours was nice today, so I'm excited for you.
Nice today.
What is your sign?
So I am a Cancer sun, an Aquarius moon, and a Gemini rising.
So much water.
Yes. I feel like that may contribute to my sexuality and gender identity, but we'll touch on that later. The fluidity of it all. Okay. My horoscope today. You're magnetic. People are watching you, not with suspicion, but with admiration. That project you finished last week, they noticed. That outfit you carefully chose, they noticed.
I noticed.
Good. Stop hiding your light. The attention isn't accidental. It is earned. Mm-hmm. And I like that, yes.
People are watching.
Yeah. I mean, if you're an exhibitionist like myself, it's no problem.
You're cool, I'm into that. That works.
My dues are pearls, poetry, and power ballads.
Wow.
Love that.
Oh, I've never seen co-star use alliteration. This is new.
Yes, right? Oh, there's more. Don't. Plucking petals, neediness, and regrets. I don't think... I will pluck the plants if they need to be. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to pluck petals.
See, yeah, because if it was plucking plants, it would be like weeding.
Yeah.
But plucking petals is kind of the,
I would
love
never.
me, love me not bullshit. Don't put yourself through that. It's not worth it.
I don't want to hurt the flower.
No. Not for that.
Neediness. Sometimes I can be. I don't feel like often, though, And then regrets, I try my best not to have those. Mm-hmm. They're lessons learned.
Yes. I actually, I like looking at it that way.
Yeah, regrets in every mistake that we make, because that's inevitable, right? It's not about the mistakes, it's how we adjust them and how quickly we can fix it. And, the lessons learned along the way.
Exactly.
If we regret everything, then are we really learning? I don't know.
Exactly, yeah. It's not a regret, it's a learning experience. Or an opportunity to learn more about yourself or about somebody else or the world or...
Yeah. But I feel good about all that. I don't know too much about pearls. I haven't worn those in quite a long time, but...
I do have a pearl necklace if you want.
Oh, are you offering to give me a pearl necklace live on this interview today?
That's very... homosexual. That does definitely have gay undertones for sure.
Oh, I'm not complaining.
Okay, my horoscope, which I saw the notification for it earlier while I was working, and I was like, what the fuck does this mean? I was like, my literal first thought was am I dying soon? Why did it say this to me? So it says, start writing your autobiography.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, I was like, okay. What's gonna happen? You've been rushing through experiences without recognizing their value. Stop dismissing your story as ordinary. The struggles you've forgotten shaped you more than the victories you remember. Do annotated copy, long poems, fresh eyes. Don't thesaurus, nonstop texting, big groups.
How do you feel about all that?
You know, I did actually record an episode earlier this week, like one of like my little like sit down episodes, and I was talking about like I do like an episode every year where I talk about like my experience with femininity and like where I sit like within like my femme identity.
Okay.
And I was getting more into actually like the like growing up in like the early 2000s and the ways that like diet culture impacted a lot of like what I was seeing around me. And honestly, there was a little bit of a realization that like, hey, I probably am more seriously impacted by all of this than I initially thought.
Yes.
Yeah. It came up like a lot of big feelings came up with it. And so I was like, wow, like, so yeah, that's the only thing that I can think of with like, you know, past experiences, like being more important and, you know, not just trying to like write them off as things that happened.
Yes, that these are just tough realizations to come to, and there's definitely a grief, you know, with having your eyes open to that kind of stuff. But you know, I was growing up in the 90s where it was hot to look like a malnourished heroin addict, heroin chic with very straight hair.
Yeah.
And that's obviously not where I'm at or I've ever been.
Or honestly, where most people are or look like. Or,
right. Yeah, and it really does a number on your self-esteem.
Yeah.
Until like you get out there and you really put yourself in social situations and in dating experiences where you realize like everybody likes something.
Yes.
There's like something for everyone. You don't like this about your body or yourself, someone else likes it. Guaranteed, you know. And I think kind of leaning into that fact that like all these things were curated, all these images and all these like ways of being were carefully curated by people who had their own intentions, and it's not reality. You know. So
and I think like that honestly that ties in like very heavily where like when I think about the importance of queer spaces and like elevating queer voices as well, because it almost like becomes then counterculture where like, yeah, you can argue there are definitely like beauty standards within the queer community for sure. I think if anything, especially for gay men, and especially down here. But at the same time, I do feel like for the most part, there is a lot more like flexibility in terms of like what can still be considered to be attractive or like even acceptable, right? Like we're not immune to societal influence like by any means. But I think, you know, we're definitely breaking through it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, because at its best, the queer community is about come as you are and self-expression and being, you know, queer. It's about being different and trying our best to accept our differences. So it is nice. It is nice.
So we have a very interesting overlap in our backstory, and I think that's where I really want to start.
Okay.
So back when I was 18, I think, 18 or 19, I went to the gay club for the first time. And I was having a really rough week, and I was in college in DC. And my friend Anastasia, she came to my dorm, and she said, "Hey, do you want to go to the gay club tonight?" And at that point, I was like, I had just recently like come out as bisexual, but I wasn't like super open about it. It was still something I was working through, but I knew I liked girls. Okay. And so I said, well, you know, I'm having a rough day, but I was basically like, I should go out and I should do this, like for myself, like I should be more in my community. And we went to this club called Town Dance Boutique on U Street in Washington, D.C. And that was like my first experience at the gay club. We saw the drag show, and we went upstairs and we danced, and it was like one of the best nights of my life.
I bet.
So you're familiar with Town.
So yes. Oh, so what year was this?
Oh my goodness. 2016, 2016 or 2015. Yeah.
2015. We were in DC at the same
I know,
time.
which is crazy to think
running
about.
around at the same time, and I can't believe it's possible we crossed paths somewhere if you were, continuing on going to queer events. But yes, I had a good decade in DC, and that's kind of where I got my start as a DJ and an event organizer, aka warehouse raver. But yes, it's interesting because I absolutely know about town, had a lot of friends who DJ'd there. I never made it there myself because I was caught up in my own world of throwing my own queer events and working at clubs and working in nightlife. But yeah, DC is a very magical place. And when I had moved there, I'm from the Chicago metropolitan area. Then, my family moved to Central Virginia. Then I moved to DC, and it wasn't until DC that I felt like I could really be out and about, as a queer person and proud. And so, like, DC for me also was a very important place for me to explore my sexuality. But yes, I mean, I didn't make it to town, but I definitely bopped around on U Street.
Yeah, you were around town.
I was on U Street. Yes, I used to work at a club called U Street Music Hall from 2010 to the end of 2014. Worked with another nightclub that is still there called Flash, then through my own warehouse parties on a regular basis, which also included big warehouse parties for Mid-Atlantic Leather Weekend. But yeah, DC is a very special place in that way. There's lots of queer people in DC.
Definitely, yeah.
Which I love. It's just, it can be a bit expensive to live there, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I miss it for sure. I think my connection to DC is also just like the coming of age aspect, that like that's where I was becoming my own person and discovering like my own independence. But I miss it so much. Like,
what do you miss most about it?
The fact that I don't have to drive everywhere, that's really nice.
Yeah.
I love a good public transit system. And it's funny because when I was living there, I would complain all the time about WMATA and the metros and the trains.
Like,
and then I moved down
the
here.
Culture.
Yeah. And then I moved down
everything.
here and it's like, oh, so if I want to get anywhere, I have to drive for half an hour.
Right.
Minimum.
Yes.
Cool. Great.
On 95 with these wackadoos.
The stress.
Yeah.
It's
unreal.
Metro.
I agree.
Yeah, I've become more grateful. But I think that the development like of DC and just, there's a lot of historical context like with DC's urban fabric versus Miami.
Yes.
Not, it's not shade like at all.
Yes.
But I do think that DC was a place that definitely had like more opportunity. I really wish that when I was younger that I had been able to explore it more. But I think like, just being wrapped up with school and again, just being a girl in my late teens, early 20s and, trying to figure life out and like understand myself more. I didn't get to like get into it like as much as I wanted to. Cause then I'm like, we 100% like would have crossed paths. It's just so funny. Like
weird. It's like so weird how the universe then now brings us together.
Yeah. So after, so I guess for context, so town closed in 2018. I think summer 2018 was their last party. Yeah. That was also the first year that I'd gone to any sort of like Pride at all as well. So, a bittersweet moment for that to happen. And the lot was sold, the building was torn down, and it was replaced by this, I'm not going to say much because the firm that designed it did also reject me for a job, but it was replaced by a new building. So was
it office buildings, residences?
Mixed use.
Yeah. That's the story of DC.
I know.
Right now, and unfortunately, that's just been what has been happening to U Street in particular for years, and has been sad to witness. Yes.
Yes.
I don't know if you knew about Bohemian Caverns, which was just a like a legendary like black music venue where there was just, it was around when like the March on Washington with Martin Luther King happened. It was around for decades and was a very foundational place. And yes, it just, the rent keeps going up. They need to have a Warby Parker there or whatever.
I know. Oh my goodness. I remember when that Warby Parker opened.
And
I was just like, okay, whatever.
Why are we doing this? But that's how it goes sometimes. It's just sad.
There was a story about a woman who she had like called in for a noise complaint against the Boost Mobile on the corner that it always
the Boost Mobile. That Boost Mobile that's the legendary place.
So the Boost Mobile is
blasting go-go music at all hours.
All the time. That Boost Mobile has been just having like an ongoing block party for like 30 years.
It's so good. It's so good.
And some lady, because like U Street, like in Shaw, like that area is. It's being gentrified, but it's like such a slow paced gentrification. Because I think, again, like when I look at the gentrification in Miami, I think because of like that very big difference in like the overall cost of living, and also just like the real estate market down here being just crazy. Like what's happening down here with like the level of displacement is like so beyond even like what I was seeing like in DC for sure. So part of that gentrification was like there are these like 5/1s as they're called, with like lower level is your retail and you have 5 levels of residential.
Right.
And I guess some lady, this again had to have been in like 2016, 2017. And she called in a noise complaint on this Boost Mobile that's been there longer than her building has been there. Mm-hmm. And that has just been doing these block parties maybe even longer than she's been alive.
Probably.
And called in a noise complaint.
Did she win, or what's the...
Oh, no.
Okay, good. I'm glad that... You know what? I mean, that's surprising because, when I was working at U Street Music Hall in 2010, maybe in like 2013, yes, similar situation. A person who decided to move in next to the club on U Street in a nightlife area... Mm-hmm. Moves in and then complains, and they were honored, and the club had to pay a lot to get there. I think it was something, I remember going up into that person's apartment to go hear how the bass was affecting their den. And it was like this small reverb, but I'm pretty sure the club had to pay to figure out some kind of sound treatment for their place.
That's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. It's just like, don't move next to a club.
Yeah. If you don't want to be near noise, don't move near the noise.
It's like you're mad when you go in public because the public is there. The world does not revolve around you.
Right. Well, in DC, there's many who think they do. But it's happened. It's unfortunately been a thing that's happened to a lot of businesses on U Street, and it's sad. Because some of them can't survive. Yeah. And then it takes away, all the fun, people need those places. We have to have spots where we're blowing off steam. Mm-hmm. That's like preventative measures, honestly.
And I think I've also seen, especially with the changes in Wynwood, being the most prominent.
Yes.
Losing Gramps.
Yes.
Was, at some point, and I say this as someone who has an understanding of the way that urban development projects are reviewed and approved. There is a portion of it where it literally just comes down to the opinions of the residents and also the opinions of your commissioners and your design review board.
Yes.
Where it has nothing to do with anything quantitative. It's all qualitative feedback. Yeah. And I do wish that Miami's governance was more understanding, or at least more supportive of the idea that you need to actually cater to your locals. Yes. That the local venues that people who live here year round truly enjoy are more important than just making this a tourist destination. I understand that we make a lot of money from tourism, that Florida makes a lot of money from tourism, but at the end of the day, you cannot have an economy that's built off of that. It's very unstable. It's very risky.
Yes, 100% agreed. Who's going to be giving you business during the off times?
Exactly
it's the
that,
locals.
Yeah.
It's we can't totally forget about them. They're the loyalists. I know. they're the people who are going to have your back. Yeah, it's unfortunate that, you know, it's a very select group of people who make such decisions, and it's based on, I don't know what, however
Lobbying.
they feel, you know, and but that's government politics. That's,
Yeah.
you know.
So
Not a
after
fan.
DC, you lived in New York for a little bit too?
I lived in Brooklyn. Yes, I went to grad school in Brooklyn. Went to Pratt Institute, and lived there for a couple years until I moved down here. And that, I mean, that was phenomenal. I love New York.
Were you doing any organizing up there too, or
No, I was just DJing. I was full time, and kind of probably like how it was when you were in DC.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I was full time in grad school, which was an all consuming thing, which was fine.
especially at Pratt?
Yes, I loved it though. But I was DJing on the side. I would just take gigs in there, from here and there, and I would still throw parties like warehouse raves in DC. It was a bit more sparingly though, but DC was only 4 hours away, so and I had a market there, so I figured like we'll do a little bit of both, have some balance, and
Take the $5 bus and just get you
the
to
mega
Union
bus.
Station.
Yes, yes.
Or if you want to be fancy, you can take the Amtrak.
Yes, I love taking that train from New York to DC,
Yeah.
and oh, it's so beautiful.
It honestly is. The first and last time that I took it, because I only taken it once, but I took it at night, and I'm like, damn, I wish I'd seen this during the day.
Yes, yes. But yeah, I lived in New York for a bit, you know, yeah.
So then what year did you move down to Florida?
So I moved down to Florida in 2020. I'm one. Anytime anybody asks me that and they're from here, I'm like, yeah, I'm one of those, you know, one of those people who came and ran away. But realistically, at the time in 2020, when the pandemic hit, I had moved up near Albany because a partner of mine was living there, and then we were just like, we don't think we can do this winter with everything in lockdown. We're already going a little bit crazy, you know, being stuck inside. And so my dad was down here, and so we just made that move and, you know, came down here, and it was quite an adjustment. It's quite a different place down here than up there.
Yes. Yes.
In a lot of ways, but I'm happy I made that move, you know, at the end of the day. So
What was because you moved down here. Obviously, there's, you know, the adjustment of just the time frame with it still being the pandemic. When did you then start to get back into organizing and producing down here?
So I have dabbled along the way throughout the way. And at the same time, though, I was here to be with my father, who was very sick. And so it was not as full on as I used to be when I was in DC, because the weight of all of it was just very, 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 very heavy and devastating. And so it's kind of like I would just kind of do what I could as I could. But I was also not always interested in being the sad clown at the party. Even though arguably that's probably my baseline as sad clown. But you know, a few years ago he had passed away, and it's been a recovery process since then. But you know, now it's just kind of like I'm feeling a bit more comfortable getting back out there, and now that the dust is continuing to settle, like grief is a lifelong process, and it is not linear, you know. But some of that weight is a little bit off of me now, and I know he was always supportive of everything I do. When I was in DC throwing raves at a gay bathhouse, I would tell him, and he would tell me he was going to pray for me every single time that I would have a good party. You know.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh yeah. He so supportive. He was a musician himself. He played the piano very well. And would always show up, would listen to my mixes. You know, he was 40 when I was born. So he was older, but he understood, you know, how important music was, and so I know that he would want me to continue on. Yeah. It's just been a matter of like finding the emotional strength, but I have it now.
Yeah.
And looping into Warm Leatherette, that's kind of been, it's a chill environment. It's a bit easygoing. It's free. It's not a lot of pressure. It's not like an entire big production, even though sometimes we bake it that way because we want to do a good job. But it's been nice to ease back in through that party and through the space that Connect Record Shop has provided. So, yeah.
So we did talk too about the Eagle as kind of like an overall, an overarching entity. For those not familiar, this feels like just like a lesson in queer history as well.
I'm about it. Yes, I'm about it.
So for those who are not familiar, the Eagle, and by extension, leather culture.
Yes.
Especially like the gay men, like burly, like leather culture. Those spaces have consistently throughout queer history been a space for organizing and protection. That is why the Eagle is so important to our community. Like you'll see when you go to many different cities across the U.S. and I think probably some in Europe like as well. You can find an Eagle bar, and it's not like a franchise by any means, but like it's kind of just like this overarching far-reaching communal space that we always have. So there used to be an Eagle bar in DC. They were, I think, the oldest like gay bar in DC up until when they closed.
Bladensburg Road. I think was it in the Northeast?
Yeah. It's like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. I played there, I played there a few times. Yeah.
That was the first one that I went to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It was a big one.
It is. It was a huge venue.
Warehouse. Yeah.
They because after town closed, then Eagle said, okay, we'll do 18 plus nights. Because like that was the whole like big appeal with town, is that they would have Fridays was a drag show and it was 18 plus as opposed to 21 plus. And it was like a $10 cover. Yes. So after town closed, Eagle stepped in and said, hey, we'll do this. And I went one time, and I think it was just that because that wasn't typically like their crowd. It was interesting. It was interesting, but me personally, like very big on like the leather community and the kink community. So it's still, again, like understanding the history was still like very important to me. Yes. And so you actually did end up playing not just at the Eagle in DC, but you've also played with the Eagle in Milton Manors, correct?
Yes, I've also played at the Eagle in Denver, Colorado.
Okay. Miss Eagle?
Yes. So, I'm curious to know about what was interesting before I respond about your experience, because you said, it's not a crowd they were used to. So what was interesting about it for you? And what did you feel and experience?
For context, I was like 19 or 20 years old.
Okay.
And I think that's the first time that I'd seen people just like openly wear like the puppy outfits.
Oh, pups. Oh.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, okay. And then that was also the first time that I'd seen like an open bathroom situation as well. But also they were selling like leather gear on the first floor too, which I was a big fan of. Like I love shopping, unfortunately. I don't really care what I'm shopping for. As long as it's not groceries. And like, oh, this is like so much fun. Like, yay.
Yes, especially at the leather club.
I know. This is actually kind of perfect for me. But I honestly, I think a little bit of the awkwardness just came from like, again, me not fully knowing myself and also like not really knowing the history like at that time. Now I'm like, let's go to Eagle.
Yes.
Let's go to every Eagle.
Yes. So, like I said, when I was in DC, I got with a crew of 3 gay men called the Needle Exchange, and we used to throw warehouse events, all 4 of us, for Pride, for, not during any queer holiday, but also for Mid-Atlantic Leather Weekend. And it was through that collective and my experiences there that I really got to understand what leather culture was. And I loved it. I am very passionate about people's ability to express themselves sexually, and in a, it's obviously time, place, and space, right? But, and just the fact that we need to have spaces that provide that to all people. Because we are so complex as human beings, that like sexuality is so far beyond what everyone I think generally tries to make it as far as, it being in binary terms, or it needs to be like this, or it needs to be like that. It's like, it doesn't need to be like anything. It just needs to be how you want it to be. But I also feel like existing in kink spaces responsibly and exercising your right to do that can also be very healthy and can be very healing for many people. So I'm happy to be in that space. Typically, those spaces have been men only and very strict on that. And many of these types of clubs do not welcome females or trans or like anybody that is not a person with a penis who identifies as a man. Things have changed. Things are changing. But in understanding that, I have done my best to just show respect to that community in a way to where they know that I'm not like some girl at a bachelorette party coming up into the cake club.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Yeah, like I show up with respect and understanding. And I love playing leather parties. I loved playing at the Eagle. I had a Sunday night residency in Wilton Manors for several years where I was doing disco. Actually, a lot of stuff that you would hear at Warm Leatherette now. But unfortunately, they wanted to change the just what they wanted to do on Sundays. They wanted to go more towards circuit music, which was just not in my repertoire. And I was not going to spend a lot of money buying circuit music because that's just not my thing. It's some people's thing, and that's fine. And I wish that it could have been, I guess, partially, so that I could stay. But also, it's like I don't want to be playing stuff that I don't connect to. Yeah. Unless I really, 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 really need the money, But even then, it's just I don't find too much enjoyment in it. But all good. I still very much appreciate. Will still go to Eagle for sure. But yeah, that's my history. I mean, I love it. I feel like it's fun to people having sex while you're DJing. It's like wow. Like at the end, like
the music must be amazing for it not to be going on.
Right, because I'm no stranger to DJing, just sex parties or anything like that in particular, whether it's for queer people or more hetero-leaning environments. It's just something that a place I feel comfortable in and I like to be a part of. And so on Sunday nights, when I used to play at the Eagle, at a certain point, my measure of success was how large and tall was the clothing pile where people left their clothes.
You're very goal-oriented. I love that.
And at the end of some of these nights, some of the bartenders would be like, Morgan, come look at all this stuff. Look at there's hats, shorts, they all left. I'm like, yeah, that means I did good, I guess. I can't take all the credit, but it's important to be playful with your sexuality. It's important to explore. So yeah, so I've got a history of being in these kinds of spaces and I love them. Yeah.
So I guess the vibe at Warm Leatherette doesn't seem quite to that level, but
not yet.
I guess what was the inception of the idea for you to create this type of space with Warm Leatherette?
Well, I did want to sort of touch on my history of playing in leather bars and being part of leather culture, which is reflected in the name. But I also wanted to kind of create a space for queer women, femmes, trans people primarily, where that could be a space for them if that's what they wanted, where they could kind of explore kinks and express themselves in a place that felt welcoming to them. Because despite, all of the amazing times that I had at Eagle, there were still moments where I was yelled at or who is this woman or whatever. And that's not necessary. I'm not a threat. We're not a threat to your environment. We are just here also wanting to express ourselves. So it's cultivating a space like that, but it is not heavily kink focused. It is more focused on the music aspect of it. and the development of queer club culture. There's also, I'm usually always in support of platforming women and trans people. That's something that I was really doing a lot of during, the last years of my time in DC. Just being a bit more intentional about, booking people and creating spaces for them who aren't always getting platformed. So that's part of it. But yes, also maintaining like the culture of like house music, disco, the foundations of why we do what we do now. Like queer club culture is so important to the community in general. So wanting to create another space for queers and music nerds like myself.
And you mentioned too that the venue is also lesbian owned?
Yes. So one of the residents of Warm Leatherette goes by Nat Smallish, and she is a queer woman who is a partial owner of Connect Record Shop. So it is such a pleasure to be doing this event there and to be working with another queer woman and to have her part of my crew in this way. She has been nothing but supportive, which has just been so special. The first time we did Warm Leatherette at Connect Record Shop was in December of last year, and it was like nobody was there for the first one, and it's okay. There was something else big going on in the area, and there was no parking spaces, and it was an issue. But
story of my life in Florida.
Yes, but after that event, she just was like, I want to be part of this. I want to help you do this. I love this concept. I could see us doing, bigger things, and was just so passionate about the idea in general. And I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Let's make it happen. And it hits different when you're working with another female. Yeah. And you're female. When you're working with like your kind of people, it hits differently.
It's a different perspective.
It's a different perspective. I feel like she has also been in the music industry, being in bands. She was a bass player in a Fort Lauderdale band called The Haunt, for example. She's done many things, but we both have extensive history in music industry in our own different realms. And to meet another woman who can speak the language and understand things on a different level is just, I don't know, beyond special, I think.
Yeah.
But yes, and so along the way, like we've picked up other residents. We have Angela, who just randomly showed up one day with some records and was like, hey, can I hop on and play? And I was like, well, if you have the guts to do that, then yeah, I mean, how can I say no to you? And she just came on the decks and ripped it, surprisingly, so I invited her back every single time, We found a resident drag artist who goes by Gia Deluxe Olsen, and, performs Prince, Madonna, like, a lot of these kinds of, like, older queer iconic people. And yeah, and so we're just continuing on, going on. We're seeing how it evolves. Like, if it evolves in certain directions, we're kind of just going where it goes. But right now we just want to maintain like a good community vibe for people, where we're taking care of them and they're enjoying themselves it's a free party at this point. Some of them won't be free in the future, depending on what we do, because we've got some plans, but we do want to maintain that aspect to a degree because it's expensive out there. To party in South Florida is not always cheap.
Yeah. It might be free for you to attend, but it's definitely not free for us to produce. I run into the same issue like with my events too. Yes. I only do free like meetups. Some of them genuinely cost me nothing, but others do. There's money that has to be invested to make sure that everybody is comfortable and taken care of. Yes. And that's not even a complaint because like I'm still gonna do it like regardless. But it's something that I do just like want people to keep in mind every time they're showing up to a space like this.
Yes, we are donations based, so we try to push that, and people do donate. We could push it a bit more. We're going to be working on that for that reason. Yeah. I think at the very least for me, it's within my value system to provide very reduced or free entry for people who identify as trans or under the non-binary umbrella, rather, because of all the reasons. Like, it can be harder for that demographic to get jobs. It's a lot with surgeries. It's just a lot that they go through. And I love trans people. I'm a non-binary person myself, so yeah, I want them in the space. So for the most part, they're probably always going to be able to come for free, even if we evolve out of the free thing.
Yeah. I think something that just popped into my head, just as you were talking about Nat and Connect Records, is like the prevalence of like sapphic venues that I know of, like sapphic owned venues, versus gay men like owned venues. And I think there's always like this like constant conversation that I feel like I'm in, where people are like, oh, the gay boys go out and they party like every single day. They pack out like Town Palace and Twist and Alibi and all these places like every single day. But like, oh, the women just like don't want to leave the house. They don't leave the house. Like, like Sapphic, always lesbians want to stay at home because they're shacked up with their girlfriend or like whatever. Yeah. And I'm just, as you're talking, like, I'm like, okay, what other like sapphic owned venues do I know? And so it's like, okay, here's Nat with a record shop. Yeah. I know the new one, Heyday, which is a coffee shop during the daytime, and it's a low ABV bar in the evening.
Where is that located?
That one's in Hollywood, downtown Hollywood. I'm actually going today.
You have to take me sometime.
It's 2:30. I'm probably gonna go around like 5-ish, because I think that's when they open. Because I just wanted to go like see it again and like grab a drink and everything. And then the other place that I know of that I've used as a venue before is Barber & Co., owned by Nicole Nunez, which is a literal barber shop with a bar.
Nice. Okay.
And it makes me think, like, I think the argument that I've always put forward is that it's not that sapphics like don't want to leave the house. It's just that you have to give us a reason to, like,
Ooh,
me personally, I just don't, like, I love the club and I love partying. I don't just want to go to the club every single day and hear the same music every single day and party and make out with someone. I can do that once or twice a week max. And then like, that's it. That's all I've got. But I want to be doing other things. And I hear that same sentiment from people, that they want to find other ways to connect with the community. Yeah. And I'm seeing now that like that is reflected in the types of spaces that sapphics curate and the types of venues that we own. A barbershop, a record shop, and a coffee shop.
Yes, like, where we all want to be.
So I guess it's interesting. It's just making me think. It just kind of popped into my head as you were talking, and I'm like,
It is interesting, and that is the truth. And I also feel like, in addition to that, it's also just, I think, the fear of being exploited and the fear of being oogled at.
Yeah, which even happens in spaces with gay men. It definitely does.
Yeah, and in a different way, and sapphic people, they get tired of that, I think. But yeah, what do you think? What do you feel that the sapphic community could use more of? Like, what kind of spaces would you like to see that aren't there?
I mean, I can tell you the space that I want to make.
Okay, tell me.
So, and this is all very, like, I've had it in my mind probably, like, since, like, the first year I started the podcast, because it just kind of, like, clicked with me.
Okay.
I'm very, like, physically active. I love working out. I love athletics, everything. I love weightlifting. Okay. I would love to have a gym that is like a gym like during the daytime, and then it's a club in the evening. Ooh. And I want to have, like, I know so many like personal trainers, like I want to have like a bunch of like, lesbian personal trainers.
Ooh, this is sounding very sexy. It's full support.
I want it to be called Peaches.
I love it.
Yeah, it's funny because like the name of the podcast wasn't my first option. I mentioned it as a joke, and then the person who I was originally like doing this with was like, yeah, let's do that. And I was like, really?
Yeah,
it's okay. But yeah, I think it's like when I thought of it, it honestly made me feel like even more confident, like what I was doing here.
Yeah.
Because it just felt like a sign of like, this is like what we need. I would love to even just like have spaces where I can go and co-work with like people in the community as well, especially organizers and producers like yourself, because I think it's very important for us to be able to put together resources and like find different ways to support each other. Like my biggest gripe lately has been AI flyers. And I'm just like, we gotta, if we need to do like a Canva tips and tricks lesson or something, like let's make it happen. Because I'm tired of seeing the same AI characters over and over again. Not a huge fan of that. But yeah, I think like spaces that tap into like other parts of our life, but also again like foster the option to create community. One of the big things I just noticed, especially with Florida, is that it is very transplant heavy. A lot of people are coming from other places, and a lot of people are also coming by themselves. And so I think being able to kind of like get people early on and find ways to like help them make friends and make those connections so they just feel more connected to the community and they feel happier and they feel safer. I think like I honestly feel that way about like people as a whole in Florida, like beyond just the queer community. Like I focus on the queer community because I'm like, that is all the mental bandwidth that, you know, I have to like really address. But I think that everybody benefits from that. And I think like long term it just creates healthier communities that way when we're thinking about it.
Yes, absolutely. And that's, you know, to your point, that's kind of what we're trying to do with Warm Leatherette too. That's why it's just so casual at this point, because it's just like, we just want to be like, hey, we're here to come hang. Like, if you build it, they will come. And so that's kind of like the idea. But yeah, we definitely need more spaces like that. And like a sapphic gym sounds hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually saw, and of course, everything fun happens in New York. There's there's a deadlift competition happening in Brooklyn.
I bet I got a friend
Like,
or something
like
who's doing that. I'm sure I know somebody in there. Yeah.
It is. I think I don't know if it's queer or specifically sapphic, but like, yeah, I would love to do that.
Okay.
I would love a deadlift competition.
Well, that, you know what? If you made this gym, I'd probably get my ass to the gym more. So
okay, I
got
got
full support. I'll be waiting.
It's been something that's been on my mind for a while now.
Great idea, because I see I reside in Wilton Manors, and you know there's obviously gym bar there, but then I believe there's also like maybe one or two other gyms that are like you can't see in from the outside.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm like, I know what goes on in there, and I'm like, why don't we have a space like this?
Yes.
Why isn't that a thing?
Like we'll have individual single-use locker room, bathroom situations so that, you know, no one's accidentally walking in or anything.
Right. But cool. Okay. Yes.
I am also, oh God, don't let me lose my train of thought. No, what was I just about to say?
Sapphic gyms.
Sapphic gym, sexy sapphic
queer
gym.
spaces, cultivating queer spaces in Florida.
Oh, I lost it. My brain dropped it.
That's okay.
But yeah, I love that. And I think it's like, we have the next, that's what I was going to say. So I have my next edition of Lovers Than Friends coming up on May 19th. I think that's the date that I picked.
Okay.
Or 16th. So it's in May.
Okay.
It's sometime in May. Again, with the same thing, very casual, free meetup. It's a community like run or walk.
Okay.
Also, like a big fan of incorporating like movement and wellness, since I've heard from a lot of people that that's something that they want. Yes. So trying to find ways to incorporate that as well has also like been like a motivation for it's like, oh, maybe we do need like a gym or like fitness space. The next Warm Leatherette is...
It's going to be on May 9th at Connect Record Shop from 2 p.m. to late.
Oh, I'm so ready. And
daytime cookout vibes.
I have committed to the seafood boil.
Yes, we're going to have a seafood boil hosted by Taylor from Bottoms Up, and I'm thrilled. We are all thrilled.
I've never done a seafood boil before.
I don't know if I've had it, probably, maybe, but I'm here for it.
I'm going to do my best. I'm going to... If you have like a crustacean allergy or a seafood allergy, just don't eat it. I feel like I have to say that because there's gonna be someone. Yes. I will do my plan right now. we should talk logistics anyways. I guess it's the perfect time.
Yes.
So my plan right now is to do 2 pots. One that is just broth and like veggies, like just broth and potatoes and some corn.
Okay.
Maybe some carrots. I like carrots. Is that crazy?
I love carrots. No, it's not crazy.
To put in the seafood boil?
No, they're both root vegetables.
Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
I don't know if that matters, but
yeah, it matters to me.
Trying to figure out. Yeah.
So okay, yeah, I'll have one pot that is more or less like vegetarian at least, and then I'll have a separate pot that is like crab and shrimp, like the actual seafood itself. Yeah. So it's like you can pick what you want. Bring your own seafood too if you want. Like get your steam and bag shrimp or something and then bring it, and then you can just put some broth on top of it. I'm not feeding an army with this seafood boil, okay?
First come, first serve.
Pretty much.
Starts at 2 p.m. Be there or miss it.
Yeah, I didn't realize that so many people would want a sapphic seafood boil.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
yes,
it's happening.
I'm very excited. So yes, in addition to the seafood boil, we're gonna have, I think, about maybe like 7 or 8 DJs that day. We're going to have a grill, so if people want to bring other grilled food, you're more than welcome. It's BYO. There is going to be alcohol and wine available for purchase. But it's just going to be like a daytime cookout jam, and we're gonna have inflatable pools set up outside, so you can bring your swimsuit or whatever.
Bring your sapphic personal trainer,
right? Because it'll be exact. Please do.
Yeah, actually requirement. Like you have to bring one. You don't have to bring a ticket
in exchange for the seafood boil.
Exactly.
You must.
Yeah. One, you get 2 scoops, 2 ladles full per personal trainer that you bring.
Per muscle mommy.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yes.
I'm here for it. But yeah, we're gonna be playing like just vibey daytime like disco, pop throwbacks. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna have. Let me see if I can tell you the list of all the DJs. We're going to have Angela. We're going to have Hispaniola, myself, a couple DJs from DC. One of them who has probably likely played at town many times. His name is Lems. He's going to be in town, so you can talk about that with him.
You will gossip, for sure.
Another friend from DC, Sarah Myers. We're going to have Natalie play, Not Smallish, and then the Vinyl Cutie. And I think that might be it. And if I forgot someone, I apologize. And then Drag by Gia Deluxe Olsen. But yeah, it's going to be a good time. And it's free. Just a reminder, it's free. 2 to 8. Yeah.
Or if you wanted to donate, please donate.
Yes.
How do people donate?
We will have little signs up there with, QR codes of what you can do. You can also just slip a hundo in my back pocket if you see me.
Do they get
I had that happen, actually.
Do they get like a little dance or something if they slip you some cash?
You could maybe even get a kiss on the cheek.
Okay. We'll make a menu item. Like, this is what you get, like, depending on your donation level.
Yeah. I'll have to think about that one. But yeah, you could definitely get a dance. But yeah, anything that you can do to support. Because yes, just like with what you do, this is coming out of our pocket. Because, out of the love of community. So if you're able to contribute, then you've also contributed to the success of everything and to our community as well. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, DJ Lisa Frank.
Thank you.
I appreciate you for coming on today. And I'm honestly just like really excited for the next Warm Leatherette. And I'm excited for just like continuing to like work together and support each other as well. That's the part that, I truly love about what I do is like always being able to like connect people with like different opportunities and just say like, hey, you want to do this, you want to put this on, here's the 3 people that you should like get in contact with. I just want to keep seeing the community grow. That's what's most important to me.
I agree. Thank you for doing this and for bringing people together.
So where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram. My handle is djlisafrank. I'm also on SoundCloud, same handle, DJ Lisa Frank.
And then for Warm Leatherette?
For Warm Leatherette, on Instagram, it is warmleatherette.party. And we will see you on May 9th at Connect Record Shop in the Thrive Art District.
Oh, wait, and then your schedule usually for Warm Leatherette, it's every first Saturday?
Every second Saturday, yes.
Okay.
Yep. And then the following one in June will be guilty pleasure themed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know where to find me. I am on Instagram at bottumsup.pod. That is bottumsup.pod. If you want to be on an episode, if you want to recommend a topic, or if you want to recommend somebody else to be on an episode, you can either DM me or shoot me an email, bottumsuppod@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here for the second time now.
Yes.
I appreciate it so much.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you guys at the seafood boil.
Yes, May 9th. Bye.
Have a good one, guys. Thank you.